Hey everybody, Karen Murray here, along with my beautiful bride.
Sherry Murray.
You're kind of jumping
I
the
was
gun.
jumping the
I
gun.
didn't have time.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Wow, let's try it again. Hey everybody, Karen Murray here with my lovely, beautiful, sexy bride, Miss.
Oh, my turn. Sherry Murray.
That's way better, way better. We're here with this episode of Bottom of the Bottle, and we don't talk about specific wines on Bottom of the Bottle because, frankly, we just don't have those good of palates where we can give you any tasting notes. What we like to talk about are the Northwest wineries that we've been to and the experiences we've had and why they're so cool, so that maybe you'll go, you know what, that's a place I'd love to go and see if I like their wines as well. So in today's episode, we are talking about our friends over at
Kontos Cellars.
Kontos Cellars. So we are by the way, we are drinking a 2017
Cab Sauv.
2017 Cab Sauv. We're looking at the bottle here. This is just scrumptious.
It's
too,
really
by the way.
good.
So I can't tell you like what I'm picking up, anything. I can just tell you I like the taste of it. So let's do one more. So
Sorry, I didn't get that in afterwards.
so let's talk about Kontos Cellars. So they are in Walla Walla.
Yep.
Beautiful Walla Walla. They've been in the wine business for a number of years because they got their start. The dad, Cliff Kontos, got his start. I believe it was Fort Walla Walla Vintners or Fort Walla Walla Winery. It's Fort Walla Walla something. I should have looked that up and made sure I knew that before I came on this thing, right? So here's our experience. So we went out in October to Walla Walla, had different reservations, went in to sit down to start tasting at Kontos, then realized, oh my gosh, we're actually supposed to be at dinner down at the Walla Walla Steakhouse because we had reservations there, and we had to bolt out. And went, oh. And in the meantime, we started this Facebook group that you guys are probably watching us in right now. And the Let's Talk About Northwest Wines Facebook group. Chris Kontos was part of that. And at some point, we kind of begged for mercy and said, can we come back and actually do a tasting? It felt so bad that we had to skip out on a tasting because we were supposed to be at dinner. So we went out probably 3 weeks ago, I think it was.
Yep, right about that.
Went back out for 4 days and got to go to
It was on Cameron's birthday. That's the only way I can remember.
So whatever date Cameron's birthday was. So Cameron Kontos is the winemaker.
Yep.
And so we got to go in on the day of his birthday, and Chris and Cameron Kontos joined us. Got to have another good friend of ours, Jason Ford, joined us. Got to sit upstairs in their kind of their loft area, which is real cool. But we got to spend. Yeah, it was really cool.
It's really, really laid out nicely.
So their tasting room is downtown Walla Walla. It's not where they do production, but they have a really, really nice tasting room. Mm-hmm. Really, really good customer service from everyone that's there. But the wines were phenomenal. And then we got to have this awesome hour with Chris and Cameron on Cameron's birthday. And what we didn't realize was that they had scheduled to come in and just to be able to hang out, but they had to leave because they were going to go golfing with their dad for Cameron's birthday. And I thought, well, how cool is that? That they would even just schedule any time to come and hang out with us all when it's his birthday, his special day. They should have been out golfing all day doing their stuff, right? And hanging with the family. So I was like, oh my gosh. But the one thing that I loved about hearing the Kontos story was that the dad, started making wine a number of years ago, was one of the early winemakers in the Walla Walla area. But talking with Chris and Cameron, they were talking about that there's three brothers. There's also a brother named Kip. So you have Kip and Chris and Cameron. And
yeah, I bet you it was tough when Mom was mad at all of the boys. She probably couldn't get them all straight. I could just hear it.
Just start screaming and hope you get the names right? And so the dad had three different things that he grew up doing in his life. And one of them was he was a farmer. The second thing was he was a pilot and would do his own. He was a bush pilot, I think, that would go through and do crop dusting for his crops. And then the third thing was he was a winemaker. And so all three of the sons actually went into each one of those three areas. So Chris went into the farming side, and Kip is an airline pilot, I believe, for Alaska Airlines.
Yep.
And Cameron became a winemaker, and Chris and Cameron started the Kontos label. But each one of the three boys have this language that's a direct language that they get to speak with their dad, and it's something that the dad had done during his life. And I thought, how cool is that? That the dad, the Cliff Kontos has that language between each one of them that's unique to each one of their relationships. And so as we sat here and drank these wines and listened to Chris and Cameron just talk about family and stuff, I was like, this is just, for us, that's kind of like the cat's meow, is when you can start to learn about the family and what's influenced the wine and all that kind of good stuff. But we had a great charcuterie board they brought out.
We did.
It was amazing.
Beautiful charcuterie board.
Got to talk about the family. Got to talk about who's really Chris's boss. That's Kelly, right?
Right.
But then I'm going to let you talk about this boss. You talk about it and I'll pick it up because it's kind of heavy.
Well, you'll have to tell them all of the, what's in it. But what's really cool is when we were doing the tasting, they brought out the boss. Now, the boss is...
I'll get it. So this is a cool...
Okay.
This is the box. So
this
is a big magnum. So I'm going to take it out and then you keep talking.
Well, and what they do, and I think it's at their club releases, you can actually go in. They have
an arm punch.
No, the cattle,
the branding iron.
Thank you, the branding iron. Good gravy.
So that's the size of the bottle. I'm not going to take it out.
And it's signed. It's really, really amazing. But you can take the branding iron and you can put the Kontos brand right here on the box for you to take home with you. Now, obviously, we weren't there during a release and for their club members, but we were able to purchase the boss. And this is the only way it comes. They don't make them in regular sized bottles like this. They only make them in the magnums.
Now, the reason why the boss is so special is that it's the one wine where Cameron works with his dad on this one wine every year. And so they call it the boss. So it's a collaboration between Cameron and his dad. And the bottles, Sherry was saying, are signed. They're signed by Cliff, the dad, and Cameron, the son, the two winemakers who come together. And so this will be, I'm sure we drank it when we were out in Walla Walla. It was amazing.
It's fantastic. I don't ever want to open this bottle, but yet I want to open the bottle. So I think maybe we need to get a second bottle so we can keep one that's never been opened, and then we have a second one that can open it. We can figure something out. I think we can do that. I think we might have to do that in May when we go out there. Yeah. Okay, that's my plan.
So the wine is amazing, but a great presentation. These big bottles, but I love the fact that Cameron is doing this collaboration with his dad. I was like, you start bringing your dad or the kids or the grandparents, something into it. I've gone to places where they have put their grandfather on the label. I'm like, I got to buy it, because if someone puts a grandfather on a label, I'm going to buy the wine. If someone is going to do a collaboration with their dad, who's no longer in the wine industry, who's signing it, I'm buying the bottle. I'm kind of glad they didn't make this in a 55-gallon drum, because I would have bought that thing now. I would have bought the whole barrel.
Don't even think about it, Chris, because I know that your brain is already starting to go.
So, and the other thing that I just love about Kontos is they have just been absolutely huge supporters of this whole Let's Talk About Northwest Wines thing that we're doing. We get messages from Chris, along the way, that are really supportive, and they've reached out and said, whatever you guys need, let us know. They love having all of you guys come into their facility so they can share their wines with you, and it's really fun by seeing the different comments in the group. They're a very, very, very popular winery out in Walla Walla.
Yes,
people love them, and people are posting about them all the time. And I love that Chris and Cameron have access to those people to get more and more people to come in and share their wines. But we just love the support that Chris and Cameron have both really extended to us. So
yeah, huge. They have, they've rolled out the red carpet for us and just treated us like family. But here's what I have a hunch is, I think they kind of do that for pretty much anybody who comes in, because that's how they roll. That's how they roll. I think that's how they were raised. And it's just an amazing experience from the moment you hit the door till the moment that you leave. and they just treat you so phenomenally well.
I think my gut says that the dad, Cliff, was like a master at making people feel like $1,000,000.
Yeah.
And I'm not even meeting him yet. Reminds me of my own dad. So I think that Cliff Kontos was a master at making people feel like $1,000,000. And so that's just how the kids roll. That's their thing. And it's almost like if they didn't do what they just do naturally, I think they would almost feel like they were letting their dad down. Like, oh,
They couldn't go home for dinner.
Yeah, we do this because this is what our dad taught us.
That's right.
From little kids on, and that's just the gut feeling I get when I was there, and just how tight knit that family is with the kids and with the dad. And so,
Well,
I love that part.
and it's obvious that the way that they treat people and the way that they make people feel does not go unnoticed. Yes, their wine is phenomenal, and that's really important. But I think it speaks volumes for them by the way that people talk about them, how much they love them, how much they love their wine, how much they love going in. I mean, every time you bring up Kontos, there is always a positive conversation around it. So, I mean, I think that's just ingrained in them from the beginning.
Absolutely. So, with that, we're just going to tell you that if you get out to Walla Walla and you get a chance, you're looking for the different wineries that you want to go taste at, you want to make reservations, you need to put Kontos Cellars on the list. You need to get down there and try their wines and just see the cool stuff. And while you're there, ask if Chris or Cameron are, either one of them are there. I think Cameron's there probably quite often as being the winemaker. I'm not sure, but definitely ask if they're available, so you can say hello to them and just meet the guys behind the scenes, making the wine, doing the marketing, building the company. It's a really cool, and I think they deserve your support too. So with that, I'm going to say cheers.
Cheers.
Go see Kontos Cellars in Walla Walla. We love you guys.
Bye, guys.